Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the OEX Ultralite Cot Bed. This is a cot bed that's suitable for, I don't want to say it's backpacking, but it's definitely suitable for car camping if you're going to drive a little bit further. It's pretty small. I'll put the dimensions and the weights on the screen, so it's quite portable as an item, but there's pros and cons. Currently it's on sale in places like Go Outdoors for about £85, but it does go on sale. I'm going to put on the screen the amount that I paid for it when I bought this last year. I've spent about 15 nights on this in various different locations. So I've got a pretty good experience of it. So I'm going to give my review now. But first of all, let's get the thing set up. In the bag, we've got the actual bed fabric itself. And then we've got a series of braces here. And then we've got two poles that go down the sides of the bed frame itself. First thing we need to do is insert the main frame poles through the bed body. One end has got these tabs on it, and you can insert the poles directly into this sleeve. It's a little bit fiddly because they keep popping out of these holes, which is slightly annoying. But let's get the rest of this set up, and then we can go on to the next stage of getting the braces on. Getting these through here can be quite tricky, because as you get further along, the end of the pole gets further and further away. Sometimes you get lucky and they just go in, but most of the time it's a challenge. Once it's in, you just pop that over the top so that it doesn't come back out again. So now the frames are in, we're into the first problem with the bed, which is getting these bracing legs fitted. It is extremely hard to do. I often have to wear gloves to do it, but we'll try and do it without gloves today. And now we've got the bed up. It's pretty stable. It feels secure. You can definitely lie on it comfortably. This bed is about 90 meters wide. The problem with this is most of your sleeping pads are bigger than that. Certainly all of my sleeping pads are bigger than that. And that means they flow out over the side. And that means when you're asleep on it at night, you're very aware that you might roll and turn and fall off of it. It's very easy for your sleeping pad to slide around on this surface as well. It's not a very sticky surface for your sleeping pad to attach to. Putting the cot bed down is also a challenge, because these are very difficult to bend and remove, especially the last one. I like to do these as quickly as I can before my hand realizes how much it's hurting. This last one, when I push down on it, obviously this bar falls down, so you can't use two hands for the last one. So this last one, you always have to push down with one hand, pull with the other. It's really tough. So I feel like about 20 nights sleeping on this cot bed is enough nights to have a pretty strong view as to whether this is a good cot bed or not, especially for the money. It's not a cheap item at £85 full price. Ultimately, I now only use this cot bed in a very slim range of circumstances. Number one, when the ground is wet and I want to make sure my sleeping bag is not in direct contact. And when I say wet, I mean sodden. So I was camping in the Lake District and I was sleeping on this, and I put the tent up, and after about 2 days, the rain came down and we were in a puddle. And it was a massive, very large tent I got set up, and moving it would be a major hassle because everything's set up. So by using this cot bed, I can be sure that I'm not going to result in water seeping up through the ground sheet. The other time that I use this is when I'm sleeping in a hot tent. And when I'm hot tenting, there you're sleeping directly on the ground. The ground is probably going to be wet, and it's convenient to have an item to sit on whilst you're operating inside the tent. Those are the only two cases. I certainly wouldn't use this on a campsite in good conditions. It's not comfortable enough compared to having a sleeping pad. And ultimately, you've got to have a sleeping pad on top of this anyway, because there's no insulation. This isn't going to keep you warm. You're going to get cold from the ground underneath, or you're going to get cold from the airflow underneath. So this isn't a great solution, I don't think. It's 2.5 kilos. This is not, I know it's called ultralight. This is not a backpacking item though. No one's going on a multi-day hike with this item. This is for car camping. If you're car camping, maybe just take a bigger one. The other big advantage, that said, is that it is compact. So if you've got a small boot and you still want to get a few of these, then you can definitely use this. Likewise, when I bring non-campers into the wood or come camping with me, this is a great thing to pop them on because it makes them feel like they've got a little bit of extra comfort. Okay, thanks for watching. If you like this sort of content, please subscribe or drop a like or even a comment below. Very happy to answer anybody's questions.